Derby County have a huge reliance on loan players. Now, I'm going to be analysing what the loan players have done this season and deciding should Derby County keep them or should Derby County let them go back to their clubs. Now, up first is Exhibit A, Mr. Ben Brereton Diaz. Now, this guy joined from Southampton on loan for the season. Now, originally, he wasn't a fan favourite. He was lazy, he was bone idle, he wasn't playing for the club, he just looked like he was playing so he could get paid, and everybody was turning on him, which, when he started to hit good form, which is around January, February, and he's still keeping it up now in March, we created the chant, he used to be, but now he's alright walking in a Diaz Wonderland. And it's well deserved. So if we look at his stats, you will see that he has done plenty of stuff. A former Nottingham Forest, Villarreal, Sheffield United and Blackburn player, but also a very crucial player at times down the left wing, the cam position, the right wing. He's even played left mid, right mid, which is the same as left wing and right wing, so I don't get why they're two different categories. He's even played centre mid, which I find a bit bizarre. But overall, he has got 1 goal from attacking mid, 3 goals from the right side, and 1 goal from the left side. And he's got 3 assists from the right side. Now, when we look at the games that he scored in, Wrexham, a screamer. Shall we have a look at it? Why not? Here we go. Obviously, Ozo, another lone player. Crucial. Morris with the hold-up play. That's what we were missing. And then Brereton Diaz skips past, lets one fire into the top corner. What a goal it is past Arthur Okonkwo. And that was, of course, his first goal for Derby County. Now, if we keep on going, we can see his first 2 goals for Derby County were against Wrexham. Then he started doing better. Assist against Preston, assist against Charlton, goal and assist in a man-of-the-match performance against Bristol City, which I don't think he was credited man of the match from Sky, but he was brilliant. Sheffield Wednesday, another crucial goal. Blackburn, he scored against his former club, which put a smile on my face. And even though he's been on a goal drought, 3 games without a goal, he's still balling out. Overall, 6 yellow cards, which isn't too bad, and mainly playing every minute or starting pretty much every match, because everyone thought there was some sort of clause in Mr. Ben Brereton Diaz's contract where he had to play a minimum of like 60, 70 minutes for the club, which turned out to be utter crap. And now we arrive at Exhibit B, Jayden Bennell. Now, there's not much to talk about for him and the other guy, which is indeed Sammy Schmodix. But both of these 2 players have been January signings. And let's have a look at Sammy Schmodix, who is on the screen first. Let's have a look at his stats and see what he's done so far for the club. Now, his home debut was against Swansea, and his Derby County debut was against Swansea. Now, he originally joined Derby County on a loan, and there are rumours that he could be bought by Derby County. And with some of these performances, I don't see why he's going to be bought. I much prefer Bobby Clark. Bobby Clark. Nah. But a goal against Hull in a 4-2 loss, and a goal to win it against Portsmouth. Now, people did want to see him score against his former club, Blackburn, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But sometimes he's good, but sometimes he's rubbish. Now, Sammy Schmodix is like Marmite. You either like him or you hate him. Because he's Irish and I'm part Irish, I do kind of like him. And I also do wish him the very best, because he did have to go off due to concussion in the loss against Czechia. But many Derby County players have played for Ireland. Sammy Schmodix, Jason Knight, Erin Cashin, Festi Ebeselli, to name a few. But It's not nice to see him go off injured, but this guy, he's played 18 matches in cam and 2 in second striker, which is basically cam. So he's played every game in cam and only scored in a Derby County shirt. Now this is because this is the only Derby County stats we want. Now he has had 2 yellow cards already, which is a bit annoying. And he's already played the same amount of minutes that he played at Ipswich that he's played at Derby in half the games. Now we go to Jayden Bernal. Now, obviously, the fast Dutch winger has struggled to break into the squad, but he is a decent player, but he's not had anything to do with it. Now, lack of minutes at Burnley, which he didn't even get picked at Burnley's squad, that just shows he was paying for Burnley's under-21s and barely played for Burnley unless it was in the Championship last season. Comes in at Derby County, lacking match fitness, plays 20 minutes there, 27 minutes there, and gets a couple minutes there before being ill and then on the bench and not coming off the bench against Blackburn, and then getting 16, 30 minutes, 7 minutes, and 25 minutes. He's just not had enough time to prove himself, and I do think that Jayden Bernal was just a panic signing when we thought we couldn't get Sam Schmodics in. And then we did get Sam Schmodics in. We didn't really need Jayden Bernal. So I don't think Jayden Bernal was what we should have gone for. I think we should have not went for him. He's been a... I don't want to say he's been a waste, because he's not looked the best, but he's had some promising spells. But Jayden Bernal, I don't think Derby County needed him. I generally don't think he was needed by this team. And now we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, which is Bobby Clark and David Ozo. So let's have a look at both of their stats first. Now, first of all, Bobby Clark signed on loan from RB Salzburg with an alleged clause of 5 million buy-on if he was to reach a certain amount of games or if the club wanted to settle that. Now, I'd happily pay 5 million for his services. He's a brilliant player who has a brilliant work rate. He puts the pressure on. Is such a more young and talented option than Sam Schmodics and Jayden Bernal. I'd rather him than Schmodics, Bernal, and Brereton Diaz combined. That's how good I think he's been, and that's how clinical and brilliant he's been for Derby County this season. Now, let's have a look at his stats first of all. Bobby Clark, who's his dad, Jim, I believe his name's Jim, is now managing Rotherham. So that's nice that the former team that had Paul Warren, which was a former Derby County manager, now has Bobby Clark, a Derby County player, as their manager, which is kind of cool, but yeah. Now, if we look at the Championship, he's played 38 games, the joint most minutes and, well, appearances, not minutes, appearances for Derby County. Also, the other player with that is Matt Clark, but 2,728 minutes. You can't say he's not played. He's played all over the pitch. He's versatile, and this is why I think if we can afford him, we should get him. Because it's crucial that we have such a versatile player who can play in the cam, down the left, down the right if we need him, down the centre, at DM or centre mid, because we know how John Eustace's tactics can be. Sometimes he'll play the 3-5-2. Sometimes he can play a 4-2-3-1. John Eustace is so unpredictable with his tactics. It's brilliant because that's what makes him such a good manager, because you don't know what you're going to get from him. Just like you don't know what you're going to get from Bobby Clark. Because some games, for example, the Middlesbrough game, he was absolute on fire. Brilliant. Bravo. Well done. But other games, it was rubbish. Never had an impact. But just because of his versatility and the fact that he's played pretty much every game this season, I would try and buy him. He's brilliant. Like, 1 goal and 1 assist against Bristol City in the 5-0 route. Getting the assist against Ipswich. Blackburn not really having too much of an impact, unfortunately. I also do think that it's just He's brilliant. He really is. Birmingham playing DM. He's played DM, done well. He's played Cam, done well. He's played centre mid, done well. He's played down the wing, not really done well. Not really done well. But overall, he's such a talented, technically gifted player that any team in lower Premier League or higher Championship should be looking to target. Remember, Bobby Clark, a former Liverpool Academy graduate, he's going to go places. And whether it's going to be at Derby County or a way better team in the Premier League, who knows? But Bobby Clark, the fact that he's played for Derby County, if he becomes a brilliant player, then Derby County help nurture him into that, and Derby County can take credit for another player that they've helped career. For example, Mason Mount, Fikayo Tomori, Harry Wilson, Tom Lawrence, and, of course, Liam Delap come through the academy. Now, you could have also said Jason Knight, Max Bird, and talking about brilliant midfielders to play for Derby County, let's have a look at David Ozo. Now, first of all, David Ozo, it's his second spell at the club. Obviously, his last spell ended in injury, which was injury-ridden. He's had a few injuries this season, but it's been more reliant and reliable when you need him to step in for Bobby Clark, Lewis Travis, at the time maybe Ebu Adams. And let's have a look at his stats. Now, the man on loan from Crystal Palace allegedly has his contract running out in the summer, which if he does, Derby County were interested in getting him on a free transfer. I do think if David Ozo wasn't so easily injured, I think he'd be almost as crucial to sign as Bobby Clark. However, there is a downside to every player, and injuries can screw somebody's career over. Now, you have a look, he's played DM and he's played centre mid. That's all the stats you get. He's obviously played in positions like these games, they've just not been stated, which is why we can't give you that detail. Now, 5 problems here, which was just about a month and a half, and then comes back, plays 73 minutes against Preston, did pretty decently. He's not scored since Norwich, which was a screamer, so let's cut to that goal. Which you do have to give credit to Patrick Agyemang. First of all, muscling off their number 7. Brilliant. On the floor, he's on the floor, lays it off to David Ozo, smashes one, top bins, plus Vladin Kovacevic. What a goal it is by David Ozo. Just a replay. Agyemang's on the floor, he steadies himself, and this is why Agyemang's wanted by some of the big clubs, because he's such a brilliant player. But also, it's a great finish from the Crystal Palace loanee. Which then leaves us with the conclusion. Do Derby County rely on loan players? The answer is yes. Bobby Clark, David Ozo, crucial midfielders. One of them always pairs up with Lewis Travis. Brereton Diaz, we're not too reliant on him, but he pops up when he's needed. Jayden Bernal, he's not had any time to do anything, so he isn't needed. But crucial parts of this team are Bobby Clark and David Ozo, which if you can keep them, you're on track to probably push for the promotion places. That is it for the video, and if you want to keep up to date with Derby County, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, and make sure you keep in the loop. And this is Rams Roundup.